when something is alive and growing, that there are dangers to that growth. There are foxes, little foxes. Little foxes can be attitudes. The foxes, more likely, can be the tricks of the enemy to hinder growth. And the enemy of our soul does send forth foxes to hinder growth. Every one of us have been victims of little foxes. Am I right about it? I hope we haven't been the fox, but we have been victims of little foxes. Things that happen to cause failure in some important aspect of our lives. Some little circumstances that cause problems on your job. Some little irritation that causes damage in your relationship, in your marriage, in your family life. Some little annoyance that causes your spiritual life to pale. Beware of the little foxes. Amen. As soon as things begin to go forward, like our church, the enemy sends out the foxes. One thing that proves that things are going well, the foxes come. One thing that proves that God is blessing us, the arrival of little foxes. Sometimes they are squabbles within the body of Christ. Little problems that arise between members. Sometimes it's imaginary issues. So-and-so just doesn't like me. So-and-so didn't even talk to me this morning. Maybe she's having a bad day. A lot of times, the problems that we perceive are just imaginary. They're in our mind. Things we come up with on our own. You may think Sister Luna Bell is mad at you, and she might be clueless as to what's going on with you, but you acting all funny and she doesn't even know what's happening. Am I right about it? Am I telling the truth here this morning? We have to put up our defenses against the foxes. Now, we have to prepare ourselves because things are going well in New Waverly right now, and things are going to go even better because God is doing great things here at New Waverly. But eyes have not seen, nor have ears heard what God has in store for His children who love Him. I've begun to see the tender grapes appearing on the vines. And as sure as the tender shoots spring forth, as sure as the blossoms appear, as sure as developing grapes burst out into a cluster of grapes, the foxes are going to come. We are serving a loving God who sends the growth, but we are fighting a treacherous devil who is determined to keep us from being fruitful. He's sending out the foxes, and make no mistake about it, the foxes will come. That's their job. But look what the passage says about the foxes. Verse 15 calls them little foxes. The passage says, take us the foxes, the little foxes. Most of the things that ruin vineyards are little things. Most of the things that split churches are little things. Most of the things that causes a lot of hoopla, and he said, she said, and we said, that you said, that Aunt Jane said in churches, are little foxes. It's like the vine gets out of control. This vine has gotten out of control in a good way. It's growing in a way that the enemy can't do one thing about. Because Jesus said, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. And the vine strengthens the branches, and we are the branches. And the branches bring forth buds. And the enemy knows that he can't chop down the vine because Jesus is the vine. And the vine is the source of our growth. So the enemy sends in a fox to get on the new growth. And the little foxes are dangerous to the body of Christ, because if these foxes, these little foxes, these